Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special episode of the Van Buren Variety Show. Thank you for being here. I am Bob Van Buren, your host. And boy, do I have a great show for you tonight, a once in a lifetime opportunity for me, and I'm sure for all of you. One reason is this is kind of a landmark show. This is episode 40 of the Van Buren Variety Show. Yes, this is 40 episodes as of tonight for the Van Buren Variety Show. It has been a great ride. I appreciate all of you that have supported me, has tuned in, liked the videos, and subscribed to me. It's been a wonderful ride, and I hope to have even 40 episodes more as we go. And so if you haven't subscribed, if you're brand new to the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you'll see all kinds of variety here, hence the name, whether it be a person's profession, whether it be a hobby, or maybe some musical entertainment and just whatnot. It's all right here. A lot of miscellaneous talent. And so far, I've never had a disappointing guest. I've learned something, and I hope you have too along the way, because we have a lot of talented people that have come on this show and has shared their talent. And I couldn't be more appreciative. So again, episode 40 of this show, and I'm very, very happy about it. And I'm hoping everybody has a great week as I have. I have had a great week myself. Believe it or not, I finished all my Christmas shopping. That is a first for me. Normally I'm at December 24th. Okay, what do I get? What do I get? Everything's wrapped. The tree was up a month earlier. So, yeah, I was kind of Johnny on the spot, or should I say Van Buren on the site. But without further ado, I have got a special guest for this show tonight. And if you haven't seen the title of the show yet, let me give you a slight hint who it might be. Let's see if I can play this and see if this sounds familiar. You better watch out. You better not cry. Better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. And ladies and gentlemen, I have he himself live from the North Pole. He took some time out of his busy schedule at this time of year to come on this show and talk to all of you. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the one and the only Mr. Santa Claus.
Hello, Bob.
Mr. Claus, like I said, I am so appreciative. I know you're a busy man, but I'm glad you took some time out just to talk to us today on the Van Buren Variety Show.
It's so good. I'm so happy that you had me on. I was, and I was worried about you earlier this year. You almost made the naughty list.
I did.
Almost made the naughty list, but you eked by.
I think I squeaked by a little bit.
Yep, you did.
I think since a kid, Mr. Claus, I've tried your patience quite a number of times, and I apologize for that.
You and your cousins they tried it too, so you're not alone.
Well, Mr. Claus, again, I know you're a busy man, and I will not keep you. I know you just came out of your workshop. I know it's probably been you're pretty busy right now, right?
Yes, we are. We're finishing up. We're getting the reindeer in the last minute shape, and because they have a really long flight that night, and we're putting the finishing touches on the toys, packing the sleigh, and it's and of course Miss Kringle, she's Miss Claus, as a lot of people know her.
Yes.
She's very busy. She's wrangling the elves and keeping everybody in line. She's the one that runs the show around here. It's not me.
Oh, is she like managing it? She's a manager, I guess you could say.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, Mr. Claus, let me just ask you some questions that I'm sure a lot of people have had about you over the years. There's a song out, and actually it's called Here Comes Santa Claus.
It's one of my favorites.
One of the lyrics I want to ask, though, about, you're coming down Santa Claus Lane. And but the other one that I want to talk about is Santa Claus is coming to town. And one of the lyrics says, He knows if you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So let's just talk about that. So kids that are asleep and they really are asleep and they've been good, you will come to see them, correct?
As long as they're asleep and I can get in there and lay the presents out, fill the stockings, you know. But
What about some kids? I know there's probably some kids that try to catch you in the act, and maybe they're in bed, they got their eyes closed, but they're just pretending to be asleep. What happens then?
that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And you can try to stay awake, but it won't work because there's a special magic that I use to go up and down chimneys, get in and out of places where I need to.
Mm-hmm.
The same magic fairy dust that I use on the reindeer to make them fly
Mm-hmm.
will make sure that you're asleep when I come and lay your presents out.
Wow. So you do know.
Oh
Uh,
yes, I know. I know before. See, it's the same thing when I know you're if you're naughty or nice. It's the same way I can tell that.
and that would bring my next question. The next lyric, a line of that song is, quote, "He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake."
Yes, yes.
So, so you do really have. In fact, I think I've got a little uh, printout here. It's you got the letters to Santa, but you really do have a naughty or nice list.
I do now. It now Santa keeps up with the times, so it's all electronic now. It's a lot easier for me to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's a lot more kids out there now.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
So, for a kid to be nice, what are some nice things they can do to stay off the naughty list? I mean, how would they be on the nice list? What chores, helping their parents? What would you suggest?
The biggest thing, the biggest thing is to have joy in your heart and be respectful of others. If you can do those two things, I can almost guarantee you make the nice list.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, boy, I mean the nice list and the naughty list. I mean, boy, you got a lot of names to keep track of, right?
Yes, I do, and I'm lucky. I have a lot of help with it. I have special L's that's what they do, and of course, Miss Claus has set us up with the latest in technology. Uh,
Sure. Hmm.
of course, I still have my magic snow globe,
Oh,
which allows
absolutely.
me to see anybody in the world, any little child in the world, and I can tell if they're being naughty or nice, or if they're asleep or if they're awake.
Absolutely. Well, we wanted to get pictures of your workshop, but I know this is a busy time. And plus,
Mhm.
you don't want to see the boys and girls, you want them to be surprised what you're giving them. So we understand you couldn't give us pictures, but you did send us pictures of some of your reindeer.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, here is live from the North Pole. Well, here's a picture from the North Pole outside Santa's workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. If you've ever wanted to see Santa's reindeer, there are two of them right there.
That's Dasher and Dancer.
Dasher and Dan. It looks like you've been feeding them very well. I guess you have to at this time of year.
Yes, yes, we do because they go almost all night without eating, and they have to be fueled up.
Oh, wow. But there's a song again that says, you talked about your reindeer, and they're all important reindeer. But as the song says, do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? And we have a picture, ladies and gentlemen, that Santa gave us. Can you guess who this is? Here it is.
That's Rudy himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
When he first made the team, and everybody knows the story.
Everybody made fun of him at first.
Yep, yep. And when he first made the team, he was a very very young buck,
Was he?
very young buck, and now he's for sure the leader. And some of the bad weather, we wouldn't make it through. that without him, and of course it's a lot easier because the planes can see us coming, so
Wow.
it avoids unfortunate incidents.
Plus, I love the song, the lyrics, which really happened. If I can quote you, Mr. Claus, you said, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? What an honor that was.
You know, it was more of an honor for me when he accepted. You know, he really he stepped up, and even though he was being picked on
Hmm.
and everything, he very well could have, you know, been selfish and went and hid, but he didn't.
Hmm.
He put all that aside and rose above it and helped all of us out. Because that Christmas, that particular Christmas, if we hadn't had Rudolph, there might not have been a Christmas.
Yeah, because it was a bad storm, if I remember right, and you could
Very bad
his
storm.
nose was the one that helped you guide the sleigh.
Yeah,
Wow. Well, you know, Santa, you know, you're like I said, you come when people are asleep. They have to be asleep. So there's no real picture of you coming to the night sky, delivering all your presents to the good boys and girls. But a lot of artists over the years have drawn you. So let's bring an artist's conception of you in the sleigh, and right by the moon. So is that pretty accurate?
that's very close. That's very, very close.
Oh wow! See, and if you see, boys and girls, the town is below Santa's sleigh. Look, all the lights are out. So see, everybody's asleep. That's the only time he can come or will come. So you know, don't just think you're going to lay in bed and just close your eyes and pretend. No, that's he'll know. So, like the song says, he knows if you've been sleeping. He knows if you're awake. So, oh boy. And we actually had now we can't show a picture of you flying through the air, but you have your sleigh or one of your sleighs
Hmm.
that you've sent a picture of. We'd like to show that to the boys and girls too. Boys and girls, here is the actual sleigh, one of Santa's many sleighs that he has. Here it is,
That is one of my first ones.
one of your
That is a
first ones.
very yes, that is a very old sleigh. The ones that I use now are of course much bigger, and but that is, I believe that one is a model, if I remember right, 1804. I believe.
1804. It's over 200 years old.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. And you know, you bring up a good point because I mean, you have delivered presents to every generation, the current generation, their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents, their great great grandparents. I mean, we could go all the way back. In fact, here's a little girl that you were delivered presents to one time. Don't she looks familiar to you?
Is that Irene?
Yes, that is. That is little Irene at 9 years old, who you came to see. And
That's your grandmother.
that is my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yes. And she was 9 years old when this picture was taken. So, you know, I guess in the 1920s and 1930s, had already been given presents to boys and girls then. So
That that young lady never made the naughty list.
yeah, and I believe that. Yeah, she was a good little girl. Yeah, even back then, and she grew up to be a real nice woman too. So yeah, you remember her,
Yes, I do.
Irene. Yeah, you remember all the boys and girls that you've delivered presents to, don't you?
I get a little rusty sometimes, but I remember I remember most of them. Yes.
That is awesome. And you know, she never forgot you too either, Mr. Claus, and I can prove it. She bought
Oh,
a little
I know she didn't.
she had bought a little figurine of you, a little Christmas ornament that she hung on her tree for more than 60 years. In fact, here it is. So even though, you know, she got older and she had kids and she had grandkids, she had great grandkids, but she always put that on her tree. So see, she never forgot how kind you were.
That's very special. That means a lot. Thank you.
So let me ask you this. So you go, now we're in the United States of America, but you go worldwide,
Yes.
all boys and girls. Oh, wow. So, I mean, so the reindeer, I mean, like I said, we talked about feeding them. So what all do reindeers eat? I don't know.
Well, they eat what regular deer eat. I mean,
Oh, do
but
they?
we do have a special feed that we feed them to. It They love cookies, by the way, and
Oh, I've
sugar
heard
cubes,
that rumor. That's not a rumor.
and
That's really true. Oh,
and and carrots is one of their favorite too. Um, but I know that a lot of the little children put out. They have these little packets of reindeer food,
hmm,
and they'll put that out, and they absolutely love that.
they do.
Yeah, Dasher especially. He he he
He did.
he's a bit of a eater. He
Got to gain that strength, huh?
Yes, yes. And don't forget to leave my cookies and milk out.
Yeah, that's right, boys and girls. Santa, you got to remember that Santa came all the way to your house to give you some good gifts. So Santa loves milk and cookies, boys and girls. So you might want to tell mommy and daddy about that. Mom want to leave some stuff out for him, right?
All kinds of cookies. I'm not picky. I even love brownies.
See, oh, yeah. See, I remember when I used to leave those cookies and milk for you too, and yeah, you scarfed them down. You didn't care if it was chocolate chip or Oreo or anything else. I mean, so it keeps you going though.
And well, what I don't eat, I share with the reindeer because they do all the work.
Oh, sure,
So
absolutely. I still remember Santa. One Christmas, I was just a little boy, and you brought me a tricycle.
hmm
Oh man, more toys than I can even count. But yeah, I mean, shiny, brand new toys that you made in your workshop,
yes,
and you and your
yes.
elves. So I appreciate that, Santa.
And I have a lot of helpers um,
Sure.
that will take information for me. The helpers that you see in the malls and the stores and
Yes. Uh
everything.
huh. Sure.
They when you go tell them what you want, they relay all that information to me.
Oh,
So
they tell you. Oh,
yes,
kind of.
yes, yes. I stay in touch with all the Santa's helpers. So don't think that just because it may not be this Santa that Santa won't get the message because he will. And you can also send me an email. You can send me a letter. Well, I love, and it doesn't happen very often, but I love getting handwritten letters.
And it goes straight to the North Pole.
Yeah,
You're right there.
all you have to do is write Santa North Pole and put it in the mailbox, and I will get the letter.
That is awesome. Wow. But sometimes people have some confessions to make to you, Santa, and maybe they didn't want to confess this to you. Let's just say Gary says, I haven't made the nice list in over 60 years. Can you vouch for that? Is that true?
Well, Gary, you know why you haven't made the nice list.
hmm Mm. You got it.
But I will say this. I will say this. Um, I do believe that he will make the nice list this year.
But he's got some makeup work to do, right?
Well, he has been he's been a really good he's been a good boy this year.
He has been a good
He
boy.
has been a
Okay.
good boy this year. He's been helping a lot of people out. He's he's turned into a very selfless man.
I'll say that's
And being
good.
as old as I am, I can say young man. So, um, but he goes out of his way to help people. He
So he's
really
not giving
really
himself enough credit, it sounds like. Yeah. And you got a request, actually, Santa, on our live chat. Eli says he wants a Domino's gift card. Any chance of getting that?
I think we can probably swing that.
Oh, see? All you got to do is ask.
Check your stocking. That's all I can say.
That's
And
right.
Make sure you don't jump over on the naughty list.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might end up with a lump of coal or a switch in your stocking.
So you do. So sometimes I know you hate to do that, Mr. Claus, but
I
sometimes
do. I
people
do.
get cold, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
And I mean, that's no fun for me. I would rather give presents, toys, and the like. But sometimes you have to remind them that there are consequences to their actions. You know,
mm-hmm.
and it takes work to. It's easier to get on the naughty list than it is the nice list, but it's
Exactly.
but working that extra hard to get on the nice list is worth it.
Well, let's just kind of give some examples for our boys and girls. There might be somebody watching. Maybe they go, "Am I on the naughty list, the nice list?" So let me just bring up some examples, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, uh, mom and dad or grandma and grandpa tell them to do their homework and make up their bed, and they do it right then with no argument.
That's a good way to be on the nice list. Yes.
Okay. Then there's sometimes, a boy and girl will be in a grocery store and they want some chips or a candy bar, and mommy and daddy say no. And they get in the middle of the floor and they throw a big fit and scream.
That's not good. That's not good. That goes right back to what I was talking about. You want joy in your heart and you want to be respectful. And that's not respecting your parents,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you really need to be sure that you respect your parents and respect those around you. And in turn, you'll get respect back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what if there's a boy and girl? Maybe they have a younger brother or a younger sister, and they're having trouble with their homework, but the older brother or sister helps them when they need help.
There again, I mean, that's a great way to stay on the nice list and
Mm-hmm.
keep away from that naughty list. We don't want you on that naughty list.
Yeah, don't do anything like that. So, say, harsh words or fight with. And what about, fighting with your brother, fighting with your sister? You know.
Well, that's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
kids will be kids, but what's important is that you make up and forgive each other afterwards,
Yeah.
and not just kids. That goes for adults too. You may disagree with somebody, and you may even get in a little argument with them, or even a big argument. But you need to learn to forgive each other.
Absolutely. So, like I said, we can't see your workshop again. That's private. We want it all to be surprising, but so you have a lot of workers that work in your shop, correct?
Yes, yes. A
So,
lot of a lot of a lot of a lot of Christmas elves. Yes.
but I want to ask you, just because Christmas is over, do they stop working? Or do they work all year round, or how do they?
Well, we take some time off during the year. Every
Yeah.
once in a while. You can't. We're like anybody else. I mean, we don't want to work all the time. We want to spend time with our families.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more important to us, and to get stuff ready for all of your families. But after Christmas, we take time and we have our Christmas, and
Wow.
yeah, and we spend time. We all spend time together. We have a big meal and exchange gifts and yeah,
It's a joyous time of the year for
it
sure.
is. It is.
Mrs. Claus. Now you said she helps out. You said she kind of keeps it together. Tell us a little bit more about Mrs. Claus. So, what's she like, and kind of how she keeps things together at the North Pole to help you.
She is a very sweet woman. She is. Um, she's very organized, and she has a very good heart.
Oh, that's good to hear.
And I'm biased, but I think she's very, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Well, we've heard of other Christmas characters, and I want to ask you. I think you've met some of these people. Uh, we hear a song about Frosty the Snowman.
Old
Uh,
Frosty, yes.
so he is a good friend of yours, then, correct?
Mhm.
Oh wow. What's he like?
You know what? Old Frosty, he's the comedian of the bunch.
He is a. Oh.
He's the comedian of the bunch. He likes to pull a prank every once in a while, and um, you well he'll put his hat in and he'll pull the what I call the Mr. Potato trick, and he'll put all his stuff on another snowman and go hide, and you'll think you're talking to him, and it's just it's not a magic snowman, it's just a regular snowman.
But does he play like tag? Because we know the song. The song says he goes here and there, everywhere, playing "Catch Me If You Can." So does he still play that game?
Oh yeah, him and the elves and the reindeer, they run all over the place.
Oh, I bet the North Pole. I bet it is I bet it's busy, but I'm sure it's very pretty at this time of year, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely beautiful with the northern lights and everything. Yeah.
Mm. Hmm. So when you're up in the sky, I noticed now you're not wearing your coat because you just came from the wood shop or from the toy
Workshop.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I guess you have to wear that coat because when you're up in the sky, it's really cold up there. Correct?
I, yeah. I've got Miss Claus makes me a big thermos of hot chocolate,
Oh, that's
and
good.
of course I wear my warm thermal underwear, and then what you got to remember, kids, is when it's cold outside, you need to wear layers, and that's the same thing Santa does.
That's absolutely true. So when I've seen kids, sitting on your lap. In fact, when I was a kid, I sat on your lap too to tell you what I wanted. Uh, so, man, I bet you can't hardly put a number on that. How many kids sit on your lap every year to tell you what they want?
Millions.
But you know what? Every time I sat on your lap when I was a kid, and even when I watch you now, it's like you really, really enjoy the children.
I do. There is a there's an innocence, and there's a their souls light up my life.
Hmm. They are. It's the innocence of a child. But now I
Hmm.
have to remember. You probably remember the first time I saw you. I didn't know who you were, and there's pictures of me. I was crying, so I think you forgave me for that. Because sometimes that does happen. A child doesn't know right off; they're too young. I was only a year old, so I'm sure that you understand that they're not just being mean.
Oh, of course, and and not just myself, but when I do make it, because what I'll do is if I get the time, I'll stop in and I'll take the place of one of my helpers, so it'll be the real
Oh,
Santa.
oh, I
And
see. Yeah.
yeah, so but I try to do it all over the place, and but yeah, kids they can get intimidated, they can get scared,
Hmm.
because they don't know me, they've never met me, they're
Right.
little bitty. So no, I don't worry about that. I just try to make them happy and make them smile, and if they're too scared or whatever, then I ask mom and daddy what they want.
Hmm. Sure. But I wanted to kind of bring up one thing for boys and girls. It was a concern of mine when I was, a young child. Uh, when we lived with my grandparents, most time you come down the chimney. It's what
Hmm.
we know. But not all houses have a chimney. And I remember asking my mother. I said, "Well, we don't have a chimney, so how is Santa going to come in?" And she said, "Well, if they don't have a chimney, he just comes to the front door."
Hmm.
And that's true, correct?
Hmm.
So.
Mail slots, doggy doors, and if not, I can always get in the front door.
And that's how mom said. And mom said even sometimes, she'd keep it unlocked just so you could come in.
Hmm. Sometimes, but it's not that. Now I want to make sure the kids understand this. When you go to bed, you make sure that front door is locked.
Absolutely, yes. Don't just keep it unlocked. Santa can get in with it being locked. So yeah, don't just keep thinking he can't come in. He can come in with it locked. So yeah, I got a comment from the chat. Christina says, "I've been so good this year, Santa. I'm so excited for Christmas." Oh, that's great news, Christina.
Yeah, I believe she wrote me a letter this year.
Did she?
I
All
believe
right.
so.
So she did make the nice list too.
She's working on it.
Oh, she's working on it. Okay. It's not too late, right?
No, it's not too late.
So, boys and girls,
It's never too late.
if you're worried about something, it's not Christmas yet. You've got plenty of time, to get on Santa's nice list. So make sure, help out when you can. Do what your parents or grandparents or guardian or whoever, make them proud because Santa's watching, right?
Always.
So, wow. I mean, you go worldwide, and that's awesome. I mean, so you mentioned some, in fact, we hear a song about the reindeer dust. Again, it's a secret ingredient. We're not going to ask you what goes in there, but that helps the reindeer fly.
Right.
Correct. And as with your sleigh, do you have to use a whole lot or just a little bit, or see just how does that work?
There's a ratio. It gets very scientific, but it's a ratio on depends which sled I'm in, how big it is. The weather has a lot to do with it. It's very scientific.
Wow, it's the magic of Christmas. I mean,
I have special science elves that make it and work out all the formulas and everything.
Oh wow, I can only imagine how wonderful it is. I have never personally been to the North Pole, but I'd like to go somewhere. But your workshop is kind of you don't advertise exactly where it's at the North Pole because it's kind of a surprise. It kind of it's the wonderment of Christmas. I think that's important too. So
Oh yes.
and when and I still watch the newscast of you, Santa, on because the weathermen will usually have what they have a Santa tracker.
Yes.
And every once in a while, I'll be going to bed, but then it'll show in my area, like it'll show your sleigh come in. It's like, and I'm in bed.
And I have just like the airplanes, I have something that sends out a signal to those people and let them know that I'm in the area.
Yeah. And that's a good sign that boys and girls and everybody needs to be going to bed.
Right. Right.
Oh wow! So all your toys that you have there, I mean, it's countless. Millions, billions of toys for all the good boys and girls, and that workshop. I bet it's a sight to behold. I'm sure it's probably size is just absolutely. It's the largest size you can imagine.
Well, you would think so, but see, the same magic that runs the sleigh is the same magic that allows me to carry all those toys in my sleigh. It also we use the same magic to store the toys. It makes them very, very tiny. And then when I take them out, that's when I can fit everything through the chimney, everything through wherever I need to go, and then I say the magic words, which I can't tell you the magic words.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, that runs Christmas then. Yeah. Oh.
And then they become full size again.
That is awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Like I said, we've learned a lot. Like I said, the toys that you've given me, it was. I used to wonder that, like, how did he get all those toys in his sleigh? But that makes perfect sense now. So wow. So I know you've been busy this time of year. Is there like a certain time frame that you start? Is it on Christmas Eve? I guess it would be Christmas Eve that night when you would start your ride. Wow.
I travel with when the sun starts going down. That's how I travel around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So boys and girls, I mean, don't stay up late, but you might see something during the day that Santa's on his way. And so like I said, you better hit the bed. You better go to bed and be ready. Because like I said, don't sit there and pretend that you're asleep, because Santa will know.
Oh, I'll know.
Oh, it's a magical time, Santa. And
It is.
And so, yeah, your elves have worked very, very hard too, and are right now still working hard. So,
Oh yes, very. It's just they're just all over the place. They're just working and working and working right now.
they're working.
This week is probably the busiest out of everything.
They're working, but I've heard the elves, they enjoy what they do. They like making toys for the boys and girls. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a hobby for them. I mean, it brings them happiness to do this, to bring happiness to others.
Absolutely. Oh,
And that's
wow.
what we try to spread through the world by giving. Is we try to spread happiness to others,
Absolutely.
and that gives us happiness in return.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So yeah. Uh, well, Santa, like I said, I won't keep you any longer. I know that you're a busy man right now, and I appreciate. Normally this shows that last for an hour, but I know you're busy and you've got literally a long ride ahead of you.
Yes.
And like I said, I know. I think I tried your patience this year, but I've tried to do my best to be good, and so hopefully, I will have this hanging up. So hopefully, I'll say something on Christmas morning.
Oh, I'm sure you will, Bob. I'm sure you will.
Okay. Well, that's all I have, Santa. And if you want to, we'll do the last line. One of the biggest stories about you. In fact, it was a tradition, still a tradition in my family. I'm sure it's everybody else's family. It was called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and all through the house. And I like to point out that next line, boys and girls, says, "Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse." So what does that tell you? They were all asleep.
That's right.
See, and so if you want to, Mr. Claus, I would be so honored if you would say that last line with me, and then I'll let you get back to your wood shop. And on behalf of all my heart, Mr. Claus, Merry Christmas to you too, sir.
And a Merry Christmas to you.
So we'll say that last line, and ladies and gentlemen watching this, you can say it with us before we sign off the air. Merry Christmas to all,
and
to all a good night.
Good night.